This is a season that never followed the script, fitting finalists to crown a new champion. Pittsburgh's modern era steel curtain, the Riverhounds' 26-year wait, punctuated by Robbie Mertz.
On his right foot, Mertz! The Pittsburgh Kid gives Pittsburgh the lead.
The promised land, from the most upset-laden bracket in league history. A city of champions has its eyes on the ultimate prize. Whatever doubt followed Tulsa, they've dispelled with a sledgehammer. A 3-year rebuild, a first-place finish, a knack for the late dramatic.
There was seconds left on the clock, and Lukic has done it again!
The West was won on Tulsa time. Now, their time has arrived. FC Tulsa and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. The USL Championship Final on CBS. You're watching the USL Championship Final on CBS Sports, presented by Best Western. We come to you from downtown Tulsa, Oklahoma, and One Oak Field. It is a sellout for this championship final. The 1 seed from the West, FC Tulsa, the 4 seed from the East, Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Welcome, everyone. Joined by Devin Kerr, Marion Crowder in a moment, and a sellout crowd. Mike Watts on hand. Devin, is it the final we thought we'd get in March? Maybe not, but it's definitely the final we deserve.
I love the identity of this game because it's about team. No single entity greater than the next, and instead the focus on the sum of all of its parts because of the body of work that we've gotten from these teams consistently all year long. But this game is going to need special moments from special players, so that's why I look at Taylor Calheta from Tulsa. He is the most consistent scorer in the Western Conference, tied for the second most goals on the season. What I want from him today is that energy. It's infectious, and his ability to constantly say hi as an option in the box for Tulsa approaching the final third. Similar conversation for Robbie Mertz and Pittsburgh Riverhounds. The difference here is I want the ball at his feet, and I want those diagonals and back shoulder runs to be aplenty. Second best chance creator in the league, but he needs to be the guiding light for the Steel City.
Scored the winner in the Eastern Conference Final, caught up with Marion moments ago.
Robbie, you're a Pittsburgh native. You've helped push this club to its first ever final. What's the message guiding you and the team today?
I think it's just about kind of putting the same foot forward that we've been putting forward throughout these playoffs, continuing the momentum, leaning into the resilience that we've built throughout the year, and trying to do the same things with confidence that we've been doing.
They're getting ready to walk out here in Tulsa, Oklahoma as we close in on kickoff. One of these teams will have the first star above their crest. It's the championship final, next on CBS.
Drop, empty the tank, okay? Be positive all the way through, okay? Mindset positive. You make a mistake, it's okay, we go again. Be positive with each other, encourage each other, pull each other through this moment, okay? And I think Robbie, I was speaking with him last night, probably put it the best way, the kind of thing I'll leave you with, all right? Nothing to lose tonight, everything to gain. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. Enjoy it. Let's put a star on that jersey. Let's go.
It's been a long season, right? But we've earned it, okay? Nobody needs to be anything more than what they've been all season, okay? So focus on the things that we've done all week to prepare, okay? We go out there, we execute, okay? And the goal is to win the game, okay? How that looks, we find a way, all right? On the same page? Yeah. All right.
Luke Spencer, Rob Vincent speaking to the teams in the locker rooms before procession. Devin, it's unique. We've got two coaches that played in the league, only the second time that's ever happened, and yet again, new teams reaching the final. A lot of excitement this afternoon.
Everybody knows that the journey to the final is difficult. The regular season, maneuvering the postseason play, but right on cue, Mike. Over the last 5 seasons, we've had 10 unique finalists reach the final, and for the 6th straight year, we're going to have a first-time title winner. It speaks to the quality of this league and the depth that they've been able to compile through both the teams in the Eastern Conference and the West.
They've arrived in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and one of these teams will lift the championship trophy for the first time. Lineups and kickoff are next on CBS. Over a decade of pro soccer in Tulsa culminates in this. Welcome to the USL Championship Final on CBS Sports. One Oak Field playing host. Here's the lineup that Luke Spencer has assembled for Tulsa. No changes.
FC Tulsa will sit with 4-3-3, but they want to release Jamie Weber out of the midfield. That's the conversation that's going to be all-encompassing for both of these teams. The reason being is they want control there. You talk about the front line and goals, the back line and how stout they are. Tulsa's going to press. Well, guess what? Pittsburgh Riverhounds in their 3-4-3 formation, they will be able to counteract that. So it's going to be vertical game. The understanding in the 50-50 balls to pick up the second passages for guys like Danny Griffin and Bradley Sample paired next to the aggression from JB Weber will win this game today.
Tyler Derrick was on the couch just over a month ago. An emergency signing at goalkeeper on September 26th. 4 games, 4 wins, and 4 clean sheets. The 37-year-old from Spring, Texas, has a chance at his first league trophy tonight. And for Pittsburgh, no goalkeeper better in their history. Dick, 5 saves in the Eastern Conference Final, 29 clean sheets in all competitions. That is tied for most in Riverhounds history. You know, Devin, we heard in the locker room, nothing to lose when we heard Rob Vincent. That's the conversation that Robbie Mertz, the longest tenured player on the team, a Pittsburgh native, had with his coach last night. I can't help but think Caleb Patterson-Sewell, the GM for Tulsa, just about half an hour ago told us how nervous he is. We spoke to Rob Vincent. He said going into that Eastern Conference Final from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the pregame speech, his nerves. What are the nerves like for the players right now?
You say nothing to lose, the words coming from both sides. I'd look at my boys and say nothing to worry about. There's a lot of lights on right now. You hear the noise from the supporters sections, the travelers from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. This is still a field that has 90 minutes and opportunity, and that's what you need to be telling each other right now. Forget about all of this white noise and instead focus on the process that got us here. That's where success comes from.
Sold out in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Danny Griffin, the captain for Pittsburgh, stands over the ball. Kickoff in this 2025 USL Championship Final. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds taking on FC Tulsa. Ian drives it away. Off the head of Luke Biasi. Devin, neither team has conceded in this playoff run. It could very well come down to just one moment today.
Wouldn't tell the fans that at home. The quality that is the defensive escapades from both the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and FC Tulsa, quite remarkable. First time that we've ever entered a final. Well, neither team has conceded incredible shutout streaks, but on the attacking side, yes, everybody at home should be focused on what will be the quality of chance, not necessarily the quantity.
Sousa in the width, acquired on loan in September from Seattle. Trying to whisk around Perrin Barnes. Ball chopped away by All, who was fouled. Eligio Araguin is our referee for this affair. Eric Dick will stroll over. Take the free kick for the Hounds. Mertz chasing. On for Calhara, Suber ushers it out to touch. Luke Spencer won the championship in 2017 and 2018 as a player in Louisville. First-year head coach, was an assistant for Tulsa last year. Devin, he spoke to us about the resilience of this team. He's been around champions over the course of his playing and potentially now his coaching career. About the culture that he wanted to build. He didn't want to make Louisville City the center point of it. but it certainly influenced the way he sees the game.
May not be the center point, but it is the foundation. As a player in your journey, Mike, tactically you learn from different managers, you pick up leadership skills, communication capabilities. When you step up to the coaching level, how do you take all of that knowledge that you've been able to garner over the years and then feed that on to your personnel? That's where the foundation comes from. Now comes the twist, making sure you're not replicating. You're repeating success, but you're stamping your own identity. And certainly for FC Tulsa, though the playing style is different, the quality on the field has not varied from what Luke Tulsa experienced as a player.
Ball knocked away from Calhara. And a throw for Luke Biasi. Rob Vincent still has the touch. Retired for a decade.
Yes.
All out race to Perrin Barnes. There is Rob Vincent, acting head coach for Pittsburgh. His 7th game in charge, could clinch the first championship in 26 years for the Riverhounds. Today marks game 772 in club history. They debuted in 1999. That's when The Matrix came out. Well, there's a chance that Rob Vincent, former player for the club, could coach the side to their first title. Ball lofted into space and nodded back to Dick. Pressure coming from Alex DeLue. Goalkeeper of the year drives it away. That of Delence Pierre. El Medkar. Medkar, first signing of the offseason for Tulsa. Not one player in the 18 today was rostered in 2023. Let's take a look at the keys to the match, brought to you by Best Western.
This game will have a ton of 50-50 balls. Got to win them if you're Tulsa. It's part of your identity. Always jumping forward, but patience with the limited amount of opportunities that come. Pittsburgh needs to win the wings, establish an advanced defensive position high up on the field, and win the battle in the middle to control proceedings.
Sousa's got a long throw, and Dick comes out to grab it. As a center back, did the long throw end up causing you trouble in your playing career?
No, it was actually one of my preferred offerings to the game. As a defender, ball up high, just over 6'5". The ability in those situations, Mike, to maybe be a little bit more frisky than normal. See what the referee was willing to let me get away with. Love the aerial battles back when.
Well, it's certainly a weapon for Tulsa. Has been throughout this playoff run. Time will tell if it proves to be advantageous here today. Suber knocks it over, trouble in the back. The pressure from Tulsa can be utterly stifling. 3-0 win against New Mexico United in the conference final, where the first goal was a giveaway by the goalkeeper, capitalized on through that Tulsa pressure. Danny Griffin, who captains the side. Spencer getting this team to press in unison and pretty much constantly has really evolved this organization in a short time.
Especially with the limited amount of time he had in the offseason, being named coach a little bit later. Weren't necessarily sure after the departure of then head coach Mario Sanchez, what the identity of the club on the field was going to be. Caleb Sewell doing a really good job of linking up with the head coach, figuring out.
Sousa sends it back post, back toward Calhera, and launched. Only so far. Zedrach. A hold up from Williams. Leads to a free kick.
We'll finish the identity comment. That is the identity, right? So it's quick set pieces, balls to the outside. When they go vertical, they want to throw numbers up into the box. A little bit slower here because of the pause on the end of it. The good news is, though, is that there's actually a defensive miss on the near sky. Just atop the 6, got to stay tight. You want to go with the most threatening opponent. Gets caught up here, Biasi, and forgets about the back shoulder run. He had help with Sean Stuber. Stuber steps high when Biasi comes in. That's where Junior Etu's got to push back in. The 50-50s, the constant pressure, the repress. This is all what Luke Spencer, head coach of FC Tulsa, wants, and wants early.
Tulsa faithful here at One Oak Field. It's a bit too handsy. What's the word you used earlier? Frisky? Moggy Williams? Batista named second team All-League, hampered by Williams, the league's second all-time regular season goal scorer. 266 games between the regular season and the postseason. 7th most in league history without having won the championship. Is today the day? Knotted down by Griffin. Comes to Sample. Junior Etu goes sprawling through the challenge of Lucas Stauffer.
The challenge here for Pittsburgh, though, understanding, Mike, the stop-start nature that will be this game. It's a really good job of holding possession on the outside, but then good pressure coming up for Tulsa. Quick restarts if you're the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, recognizing the space is not always going to be there to step into. Take advantage when there's a minimal amount of disorganization on these quick set plays.
Alhera knocked that off Suber. Looked a bit lame at the outset. It is fairly chilly here in Tulsa. Far from the coldest final we've ever had. Some of those nicks will hurt just a little bit extra and won't matter nearly as much if you win. 51 at kickoff, overcast skies. Mertz closing down. Ian plays back. Very late edition. Signed October the 3rd. One of 5 starters were required mid-season by Tulsa this year. Griffin. Back from Mertz. Edrach. Sample. The lead parent Barnes by Derek. Etu. Biasi on the left side of this 3, primarily a wingback over the course of the year, but due to Guillaume Factor's injury, starting in that back 3 today. He told us he hadn't played that left center back role in a 3 since high school until last year.
From afar, you're going to look at it and say, well, it's a change for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. And yes, it is, but also understanding, while no starts at center back in the regular season, Luke Biasi did have 18 in the regular season in 2024. So side changes, yes, the biggest challenge for him when we chatted yesterday was about his body positioning and understanding that his temper cannot always be go, go, go with that vertical threat. Has to maintain balance on the back line.
Sample whipped that in. Pittsburgh retained through Biasi. Williams. Out Out by Batista. Augie Williams with pressure to take it away. Atu. Slips inside Griffin, the return. Atu, numbers are good for Pittsburgh. Oh, lofted, hit the woodwork. Derek was sprawling, hammers off the post, spins out the other way, and now Tulsa flying forward with a deflection ahead, right to Dick.
Very fortunate here for Tyler Derrick, goalkeeper. Watch the right side. He starts to cheat a little bit, coming a little bit higher into the box, and then recognizing his positioning off the line. Good recovery, though. You're just trying to hit this back stick. Have players run up underneath it. Nearly finds Barnes. Almost finds the upper 90.
Forward from Edrach. Just away from Williams. Sent across into the path of Alex DeLue. 7 goal contributions in the regular season for DeLue. Always electric. And lofted the Hounds goalkeeper.
Game of inches, right? Not too far off here. It's a heck of a ball played in again. More service than selfishness in the moment for Luke Biasi. Really good distribution that, yes, we are used to seeing bombing up and down that wing, but the ability to be able to play forward, something of an asset that you pick up in the absence of an injury to the starting of the center back. One of the adjustments here under active head coach Rob Vincent, they've been very good at. The defensive DNA has always been there for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, but if you look at possession, shots on target, then the opposition shots given up, XG against, all of those numbers over the last 6 matches have favored the Hounds and taken a step forward. It's the little layers that you can add as the season goes on, Mike, that give you that extra effort.
Griffin goes down. Crowd not appreciative. It's Weber getting involved.
Interesting change in the midfield early on. A little bit of a departure for head coach Luke Spencer and FC Tulsa. Delence Pierre, though we've seen it before, starting this game off much deeper. That's more pressure on the 2 in the midfield. It also allows more space for guys like Danny Griffin and Robbie Mertz to drop into the pocket and operate within. Good job just 15 minutes in of controlling the proceedings centrally.
Free kick. Snap back toward the 6-yard box. And a throw for Pittsburgh. To your point, their possession has ticked up 10% in that 6-game span. They have, in fact, won the expected goals in all 6 games under Rob Vincent. They've won 3, drawn 3, but in 2 of those instances ended up advancing in penalties in the playoffs. Racing through the center circle. Comes back to DeLue. Overrun by Charles All. Big diagonal. Atu forced it back inside. Here's Jamie Weber, the 27-year-old from Cape Town, South Africa. Weber sliding inside. The shot is on and high. It's a decent look for FC Tulsa, their first really decent look in this game.
Pretty sure Jamie Weber got away with one here. The drag doesn't get as much as he would like. Wanted to keep coming across the body, but in the absence of that horizontal threat, it holds the back line of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, allowing the ball to drop right in front of the secondary effort. Problem is, Mike, when you're cutting across your body and then trying to go the opposite direction, you're always going to undercut the ball. To control it and stay down, one of the most difficult things to do there for DeLue.
O'Hara, that gets out. Third member of our team is Marion Crowder on the sideline. Marion, some early thoughts.
Yeah, I got some early thoughts from Pittsburgh on the sideline. They said FC Tulsa is very good at what they do, and it's one thing to prepare for a press like this, but it's another thing entirely to experience it. With these two teams not meeting in the regular season, they feel like decision-making at the back could be make or break early on.
Thank you, Marion. These sides met twice in 4 days last year, in the Open Cup in Pittsburgh and then here in the regular season, and not since. Every team in the championship plays all 11 in their conference, home and home, over the course of the regular year. And then they play half of the opposite conference, and this was a year that didn't see these sides paired.
I would fully agree in the sense that you have to be here and feel it firsthand, right? Especially at the home venue of ONE. The asterisk you need to add that favors the Hounds a little bit there, Mike, is that Rhode Island, Detroit City, Hartford, Phoenix, split between the Eastern Western Conference, all very aggressive in their own right, and tactically throw a lot of curveballs up high with their pressing situations. So while certainly Tulsa is more adventurous and they'll throw numbers forward, in the last 4 matches, Pittsburgh Riverhounds have gone through a lot of different tactical looks and have come out on top.
Yeah, Tulsa players said, yeah, we're not thinking that they're going to back down by any means. Pittsburgh's going to be up for this. Ball falls kindly. This ricochets away on the shot by Elmedkar. Weber helping to keep it alive. Chip through toward Calhara. Sent away by Suber. And a foul. E. Williams in hold-up play yet again. Pierre won the title a year ago in Colorado Springs. Center back much of this season, advancing into midfield of late. And who knows, could be part of the World Cup. Congrats to Haiti on reaching the biggest stage. As Pierre has been around that national team setup, still has family in Haiti. Second cousins, great grandparents. He's from Fort Lauderdale. Who knows, he could get that call. Trying to whisk around the edge. Calhara, who's scored 17 goals. Just out to Batista. Square for Pierre. Calhara. Sprawling out. Through ball. Elmedkar. Calhara. Taylor Calhara denied.
Aggression from the Hounds, got to be tempered at times. Right center side of your screen, that's Sean Suber stepping up. He holds serve in the middle of that back three. Now it's a good job drifting over here if he drops. The problem is, notice the numbers favoring Tulsa. If you're Sean Suber, temper that aggression. You got to make sure, Mike, if you're going and stepping up off that back line, you're one of the captains and leaders there, you got to win that ball.
Batista. Diving defensive header. Sprawled away from Coley, but able to regain. And out now to All. They feel like All or Williams have that moment in them. All forward. Williams! Derek, enough to steer it away and out for a corner.
This is all about the run here from Augustine Williams, so brilliantly done. Everybody else would have checked into the corner. Bottom right side of your screen. Look at him lead Delens Pierre away and then start to step in. It creates a difficult angle on the back end, but he's got more space to work with, and he allows his body to get forward facing. Doesn't catch it as clean as he wants, is still going in, if not for the quality saved by Tyler Derrick. That's a good boot from Pittsburgh.
So Derrick called upon for the first time, now defends a corner. Robbie Mertz, 208 crosses over the course of the regular season. No one hit more crosses than he did. One of the biggest chance creators in the championship. Stoppage inside the box. You've been a part of many of these discussions.
Never ended up on the card either.
Susan Williams battling it out. Ball launched across, flick on. The opposite side will be out for a corner. Your best options on a corner for Pittsburgh look like what?
There is no best option against this team in FC Tulsa. It's about committing to the idea of throwing your body on the line, but also, Mike, then changing once that second ball comes out.
Mertz, driven away by Ian. Brazilian goes by one name. It's pronounced Ian, not Ian, like our teammate here at CBS. Sorry, Bird. Ball slipped ahead. Calhera stayed in on the chalk. Aaron Barnes slides, got enough, hooked it away. All got chopped down, runs away from Mertz.
Love the work rate by Taylor Calhera to keep this thing alive, and then House Perrin Barnes drifting back through. Notice he knows he can't win that speed because that angle's so tight. So don't chase that narrative, Mike. He cuts the angle. Really well done early on for this back five in transitional moments to eliminate Taylor Calhera. Now they got to be careful of the secondary threats that are coming through, but they've kept the 9 at bay so far.
How interesting was the chat we heard, not only from Calhera, but from Luke Spencer, about where his positioning is, and Luke being one of the better strikers in the championship over a half-decade stretch, being the perfect teacher for it on a team that didn't really have a veteran striker to help lead him this year.
It's one of the things that in the best of ways they've had to work with since coming out of UMBC. Chatted with his coach when Taylor Calhera was looking at becoming a pro prospect, and Anthony Adams said, you know, he's a prototypical 9. But in the spring season of his senior year, they played him in a 3-back system as a dueling 10. So yes, he has the mind to wander. Now it's about adjusting to put it all together and in the right moment. Has to still be the focal point up top, wants to be a chance creator. And if you ask him, he doesn't view himself as a goal scorer, Taylor Calhera. He's a hard worker, and he just wants to be there for his teammates. Must be nice, bagging the second most in the league this season.
17. Tonight on CBS, we have more soccer and another champion crowned. The Washington Spirit meet Gotham FC for the 2025 NWSL Championship. Our coverage begins at 7:30 on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. Good luck to Kate, Lori, the whole team in San Jose as they prepare for their game this evening. Meanwhile, here in Tulsa, it's FC Tulsa and Pittsburgh Riverhounds, each looking for their first championship title. Tulsa, top team in the Western Conference, missed the playoffs last year. Luke Spencer and this team, they've held it till late so many times. There's just been a sprinkling of fairy dust on them. Pittsburgh, they've won the Shield, but now they're looking to get that elusive championship trophy for the first time in 26 years. Today marks their first final. Suber tried to slide it away. It's still on for Tulsa. Cut back inside, away from DeLu. And now you get that long throw that acts as a genuine set piece. Keep Sousa on the other side and allow Stauffer to have a go at this. Only arrived from El Paso in April, wore the captain's armband when Tulsa ascended to the Western Conference Championship. First header's away, and this is sent halfway to Oklahoma City. switch sides in this moment. Contact and Ian is down.
Right up over the back. It's not a foul. Goes straight up in the air. A little bit of contact, but really well done with Junior Etu from the Hounds to come straight up, Mike. His body starts to drift forward at all. He would have gotten himself into trouble. Well won.
Etu, 31 years old, from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Extended in December, time in Charlotte and Tampa Bay previous. One of the league vets trying to get their hands on the trophy for the first time. He was on some great Rowdies teams too.
Great Rowdies teams.
Those Independence
Charlotte
teams.
Independence team back in 2020 wasn't too bad. Gabriel Lobaton, Sylvain Marveau. They could ball a little bit. Mike Jacobs somewhere, or Mike Jeffrey, excuse me, somewhere grinning at what once was one of his disciples.
Williams shoved down, free kick Pittsburgh. Williams, I think at this point, has won 3 fouls in hold-up play, which against pressure is worth its weight in gold. Mertz quickly switches the point. Barnes tries to nod that back. Suber going in for it, Defender of the Year finalist. Drops down to Mertz. Mertz offering service, may have a second bite at the apple. As Barnes behind, takes it on himself. Header flicks the backside, Etu. Vincent looks on, first team All-League with Pittsburgh. Well, we head down to Marion, who's been listening into Rob in that Pittsburgh bench.
Yeah, there's been a lot more collaboration on the Pittsburgh side, and I said, what are you guys looking to talk to them at halftime? And they said one of the biggest things that our back line isn't doing well is actually the prep touch. They feel like their decision-making right now is hampered because their prep touch hasn't been giving them the flexibility to hit that long ball in behind when they need to.
Header toward El Medcar. Coley. DeLu. Hit his heel, able to slip it by Etu. End-line service deflected by Sample and out.
Would agree on the touch, would also say a combination of it is because of the pressure. Positionally, they're pulled out. So when you're adjusting in the moment, the natural process of where the next ball is going to come from and where you see that run, Mike, it also pushes you out of rhythm. So you don't have the ability to hit the same sort of sequences the Riverhounds are so accustomed to. Front line, a little bit more active. Also the change with Robbie Mertz and Charles All. We've seen success under Robbie Mertz. Need more out of Charles All to help to drop in and work off of each other when they're lacking that rhythm.
Corner whipped in and at the front post, Etu got enough. Second phase off the corner. Dropped in perfectly. Ian chasing, comes out to Williams, can't restart the other way. Luke Spencer, we asked him for the X factor coming into this game. Said every single final dating back to that great goal in the 2018 final, he sheepishly said with a grin, knowing that he scored that goal. His named final MVP for Louisville City in that final. The end of Didier Drogba's illustrious career in Phoenix in that game.
Shameless promo for Luke Spencer.
Indeed. But he went through each final and said, here's the goal, and he went through exact measures. Here's the foul suffered by Biasi.
Still incidental contact between the two. Jamie Weber has started to move higher and higher as this team is sort of started to reassert their position defensively. You know, Pittsburgh, for them to have success, they want to play the game right around midfield and up. Rod Vincent's done a really good job of creating more control on the back line. Sean Suber, a big reason for that. The change by that man right there, Luke Biasi, alongside. But within that, as they drift deeper, now you're chasing more. You're adjusting your body positioning. That also frees up space centrally. And Jamie Weber, a big part of the success here, Mike. Valenspierre drops, Jamie Weber's got to drop. As they push high, Weber can release and add an extra layer to this front three.
Luke Spencer doesn't agree with the foul call. Mentioned the MVP final. Game-winning goal back in 2018. Wasn't a foul at all. It was a potential head injury that caused the referee to stop play, and with it, a drop ball to put it back in play. So you're right, Devin. Even the referee agrees. Incidental contact.
I feel like we need a plaque. The referee and I are aligned.
November 22nd, it happened.
It's the nexus of the universe.
Sample gobbled that up. Barnes. O'Hara touched it last. Dratch tosses it in. He and all both dealing with small knocks this week, limited a bit in training to make sure they're ready for this game, but good to go. Dratch forward. All. Antu powering down the line. Antu gets rolled up on, free kick. It's going to act like a short corner.
No option.
Great move by Charles All here from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. That pivot to the far side, drawing pressure with him, opens up the space in behind. Lucas Stauffer takes the bait. As it's released, though, Ian's got to be smarter in this moment. Didn't need to create the infraction. The reason it happens, though, his hips right on the backside, Mike. That slight bit of hesitation squares himself up. Great recognition by Etu to quickly step in behind, create that separation in the contact.
So Ian concedes the free kick. Derek tries to align the troops. And it's Mertz. Favorite championship memory, the City of Champions 2009. Big Ben to Santonio Holmes. Maxime Talbot and the Penguins. Super Bowl Stanley Cup champs in the same year. He's about potentially to make his own favorite Pittsburgh championship memory. This ball across the face. Sample amidst the shove. Do you believe Tyler Derrick is starting in this game?
I can't believe Tyler Derrick was willing to get off the couch.
Accurate. 4 games, 4 wins, 4 starts in regular season, postseason combined, all clean sheets. Johan Peñaranda dealing with some injuries at the end of the year. They brought him in as an emergency goalkeeping replacement on September 26th. Here he is.
Tyler Derrick, successes really followed him at every single stop, still escaping that elusive title, but you know, the All-ACC freshman from 2009, if you can believe it. That's why I say getting off the couch. First ever homegrown from his team to making into MLS history, coming out of the collegiate route. It's first division, it's second division, you know, he just continues to be the constant and was more than happy to help out a friend in Caleb Sewell.
Time in Houston, then RGV, and then crops up here. Caleb Patterson Sewell, by the way, pretty good goalkeeper in his own right, the GM for FC Tulsa. Made a phone call. Got his friend, as he said, up off the couch.
Wouldn't mind his Rolodex.
No kidding. He's going through his contact list as we chatted with players and going, wow, it's never ending. Well, it's a set piece here for Pittsburgh. The waning minutes of the opening half. Mertz ahead, Sample off the mark. Untouched him, root off the head of Sample, but a close call.
Our view is actually aligned right with the angle that Tyler Derrick has to attack this. Felt like he got a little touch on the end of it. Couldn't tell there, good redirect. Oh, he does touch it off the right glove there.
He didn't even want the save, he just wanted the goal kick.
You know, maybe the athleticism, certainly the ambition varies as I get older. Eyesight's still keen. Give me that one at least.
And he's very follically gifted at 37. Ball forward, ricochets around. There's a bit of contact there. Certainly not worthy of drawing a whistle. Play on after the effort from Sousa to get into the box. It's worth noting the championship does not have VAR. So what the referee sees in concert with the ARs and the fourth official is what stands. Not that that's necessary in this particular instance. Ball through to Augie earlier made me wonder a bit. Meanwhile, is there a handball here inside the penalty area? It appears to hit off the collarbone more than anything. Medcar called for it, now he's got it. Angle tightening, yanks it back. Suber. How good has Sean Suber been? Denies El Medcar service. And Stauffer will go to work. Caleb Patterson-Sewell wanted to get him to Memphis, was more than happy to get him from El Paso to Tulsa early in the year. An adaptation period to the style. Last 6 to 8 weeks, some of the best of his pro career. Take the throw here for Tulsa. There's confetti spinning behind the goal mouth. Find out if it's premature. Header on, header from El Medcar, up above. And did Dick somehow get a piece of that?
That's unreal pressure coming right up through the spine on this set piece. Everybody lobbying for position on the second, exploding right through it. Eric Dick, unreal. 5 yards out, against the grain on the unfavored hand as his momentum is already going right. Incredible save.
First shot on goal for Tulsa. Lofted back up, and there's Dick.
Your whole mind as a goalkeeper, you're coming back across your body. Watch the right side of your screen. He's already shifting. His body positioning is turning to the right, and yet core power, athleticism to explode up high and parry that up over the bar. Next level from Eric Dick.
Goalkeeper of the year last year. Damian Loss won it this year. Second team All-League was the great goalkeeper in Sacramento, Danny Vitiello. Dick again in the conversation. Best goalkeepers in the championship. Suber.
There's a weird tit for tat between the two teams. Pittsburgh want the ball more. They want to play a little bit higher. As the game has gone on, possessionally, that's started to retreat from their narrative, and instead, FC Tulsa much more frequent in possession. So much so, the battle right now, 51-49. Why is it relevant? It's twofold. Number one, Tulsa wins the possessional battle game in a game, Mike. They're 3-4-3. When they look at their opponent and say, you know what, you take it a little bit more, 14-2-8. They don't need the ball all the time. The reason being right now, Delence Pierre is coming up higher and the midfield starting to gain more control. What they need is the three to be more vertical. Too much on Calhera right now, and the 210s are too deep.
I think the stat within the stat, they've only won possession 10 times out of this, their 34th game, inclusive of the postseason. And yet first in the West, to your point, didn't matter. Scoreless in the final minutes of the first half here in Tulsa. USL Championship final on CBS. It is Tulsa and Pittsburgh from Oklahoma reaching the end line. And the ball bangs off of Lamar Batista.
Recognizing you've got the wondrous service of Robbie Mertz making its way to the corner. With a foundation that's always set pretty deep within the box. Wouldn't be surprised in the next 2 or 3 set pieces for Pittsburgh to run some trickery instead of going direct.
Mertz. Look on header, cycle back, Williams! Off or not, things got a little bit nervy there.
Understanding the level of difficulty as this ball makes its way out. Watch the center left of your screen. Robbie Mertz felt onside. That turns hard. He's got to come back through, grab the ball out of midair, and then come across the body. But for the second most goals in USL Championship history, he's got to put that on frame. His coach knows it. Augie Williams will know it. Not sure you're going to get a better look in this game than what Pittsburgh just had.
Williams, 9 goals this year, 3 from the penalty spot, 6 in the run of play. And made both his penalties in shootouts in this postseason. Pittsburgh advancing by Hartford and Detroit in penalties, then a 1-0 conference final victory over Rhode Island. Ousting the second-year club, reached the final a year ago, fell to Colorado Springs. Batista. Two minutes of added time. Ball sliced back toward Williams. Fielded on the release. There was a foul. Monday, right after the Everybody Loves Raymond reunion, catch a hilarious new episode of TV's #1 new comedy, DMV, at a special time, 9:30, 8:30 Central on CBS. With Devin Raymond Kerr, Michael Raymond Watts, Marion Crowder downstairs. This is a Raymond reunion. I don't know that Everybody Loves Us. That's a whole different deal.
I think you're going to have to get in line for that one. Does that mean we're related?
I don't know about that.
The world hopes that it is not the case. Certainly the bloodlines traced all the way back to that of Cleveland and Omaha.
Yeah. We got off the boat at Ellis Island and took distinctly different tacks. Elmedkar. Hits the diagonal crossfield. DeLu. Jittery has support from Stauffer, goes back. Launched. Dick. The Pittsburgh supporters tell Eric how much they love his work as he sends it to halftime.
predictable first half. Both managers are going to know each other better than they know themselves at this point in time. Who's willing to take a chance? Who's willing to be brave and get away from your identity, even if only for a split second, for that moment of magic?
Let's go down to Marion with Tulsa head coach Luke Spencer.
Luke, I was watching your reaction to some of the Eric Dick saves. How do you get past the stingy Pittsburgh defense in the second?
Yeah, I think we just got to keep going. What we were doing was working, created a lot of chances, just got to put one in the back of the net.
Sometimes it feels like Taylor Kyer is on an island. How do you get more support underneath him?
Yeah, that's part of it. I think we need to step our back line up quicker, make it more compact for the second ball, and get runners off of them.
Thanks, Luke. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Marion. As we approach halftime here, coming up, we're going to walk you around what's been a record-setting year around the USL. Show you the first half highlights here in Tulsa. Tulsa and Pittsburgh are scoreless at the half on CBS. Welcome back. It is the USL Championship final on CBS Sports. Tulsa and Pittsburgh are scoreless at halftime. It's been a remarkable year around the USL ecosystem. League One shattering attendance records in Portland, Maine. Me and Fuller and final MVP Nico Rosamilia, and One Knox reaching the Rocky Top just a week ago to complete the double, winning the League One final. To support in League Two that made national headlines, selling out the championship game, just one of many highlights as Seattle's Ballard FC fell to Vermont Green. The aspirations of concrete and steel planned in new homes from Sacramento to Detroit, from Pittsburgh to Miami. Ambition to complete the pyramid with promotion relegation right around the corner. A present to be proud of, a future where the sky is the limit in American soccer. Come back into the booth, everybody. Mike Watts with Devin Kerr. And Devin, with the 2028 planned launch of the USL Division I League, there's a lot of excitement.
There's a lot of excitement, but still a lot of work to be done, and there's speculation out there, kind of like the players on the field. Get rid of the white noise and let's stay in the black and white areas. There's going to be a minimum of 12 teams. We know that. Will they further that narrative? Possibly, but you're also going to have to take the teams, whether new coming in or existing in the current structure of USL's pyramid, and they're going to have to adjust to the requirements like stadium capacity, further investment from a financial standpoint at both the club and league level. Some of that is going to be dictated by the league itself. Others are going to be the relationship next to U.S. soccer and how they adjust going forward.
And Devin, with a three-tiered system, I think everyone in American soccer looks forward to what's next.
It's so unique, though, because, yes, it's going to be tiered and pro-rel, and that's fun. But there's also a foundation here built in the United States. So how do you take the idea of regular season success abroad in every other country around the world, but take that uniqueness of the playoffs and inject it in here? The hiring of Tony Scholes, the English Premier League's chief financial officer, coming in to be the president of the new proposed Division I, solidifies USL's ambition to take the dream of promotion relegation and turn it into reality.
That's a dream for a few years from now. This is the dream for right now. Tulsa, Pittsburgh, scoreless at the half on CBS. Overhead in downtown Tulsa, Oklahoma, FC Tulsa, Pittsburgh Riverhounds both working for their first championship title today. It's still scoreless at halftime. Mike Watts, Devin Kerr. So how about we try and put that first half in a bit of perspective?
Predictable, tight. It felt like the players weren't willing to take a chance, but also not make a mistake. And that's understandable given how tight the margins are. There were chances in the first half, and certainly the visitors had the better ones overall. Love the work rate of moving themselves up high, establishing possession and dominance on how they were going to attack. This has been part of the identity under Rob Vincent, the active head coach. Once he comes in, it's who's going to take that secondary step. That's a ball into the box you're trying to work off of. They get a little bit lucky coming off the post. As they open things up, that's because the back line became more aggressive for Tulsa, playing space in behind. The problem that Tulsa ran into is they didn't have enough support from Taylor Carrera. So the best chances they had in the first half were shocking from set pieces, nearly put forth by Khalil Ahmedkar here, but a great adjustment by Eric Dick to keep it out.
And so we head to the second half that could prove decisive. A championship winner soon to come. The USL Championship final on CBS Sports, presented by Best Western. Best Western Hotels and Resorts, proud to celebrate the hometown heroes from across the USL community. Maxwell Murray is winner of our inaugural Hometown Hero Award, receiving a check for $12,500. Maxwell, youth programs and community engagement from Detroit City FC, recognized for his work empowering Detroit's youth through the game of soccer. Congratulations to Maxwell. Meanwhile, Devin, there are over 9,000 people. It might be certainly a sellout, a record crowd here at One Oak Field, and they're still waiting for that moment. You use the word predictable as we approached halftime. We'll find out whether one of these teams has that unpredictable moment. Let's take a look at today's travel map presented by Best Western.
Asked for the son of the Steel City, Robbie Mertz from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, to be active. Yeah, he painted a nice little canvas there in the first half. Really aggressive on the front line, multiple angles that he was attacking through. Most passes in the final third, most touches in the final third, and the most accurate hound in the first half. Nearly 90% passing accuracy. Rob Vincent, his head coach, will say more of that in the second half.
Take a look at the first half stats. Tulsa more shots, but it did feel like Pittsburgh had the two best chances. Khalil Ahmedkar, a header that was pushed over by Eric Dick. The best opportunity for Tulsa. they've really simplified things for Tulsa. That's the calling card. When the Kraft brothers took over this club in 2019, there was much work to be done. Well, this is their 4th playoff appearance. They're the #1 team in the Western Conference. They have a chance to win it all on home field, and maybe in the next 45 minutes. On to the second half here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Mike Watts, Devin Kerr, Marion Crowder, and our USL on CBS team here at One Oak Field. Tulsa has not allowed a goal at home in 648 minutes. There's that looming threat. The next one could cost them everything. Only 2 losses in USL Championship and playoff games on home ground all year, none since April. Both these teams can say they've only lost once since the beginning of September. Ball up to Mertz. He got knocked down, play on. Pittsburgh wants advantage, they got it, but they felt it had run out. Snap down to DeLue. Back heel to keep it in. Go down to Marion Crowder, catching up with both sides coming out of the locker rooms.
Well, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds really pleased with the performance in the first half. They feel like the biggest thing moving into the second 45 is this balance between no risks at the back line and then really more of a freedom to try and really create something a little bit more dangerous in the final third. Specifically, they want to see Charles All more involved. They feel like he's a special player who could really impact this game.
Excellent, thank you, Marion. We'll see how much All can give today. Dealt with injury at the start of the year, broke out mid-season, dealing with a bit of a knock coming in. And here comes Sousa. He's got that long throw in his arsenal. In from Seattle, seeking more minutes, the 24-year-old former US Youth International. Came up through Sacramento's academy. Sousa stabs that down. He and the center back still forward off the set piece. Comes out to Coley. Australian. It's the top of the 18. Williams. Ball got knocked away. Good pressure from Calhara. But it's short-lived. All. Williams. Ian came out to flummox him. Sample. Had to, trying to work the give and go. Picked off by Stauffer. And recovered now by Sample. Plays square. Angling for space. All. Outside, Perrin Barnes. Trying to get the end line. The service toward Williams. Sent away by Delance Pierre. Still on for Pittsburgh into the box. Drop kicked away by Batista. Griffin. Williams got knocked down on the box by Ian. Play on. And this time, driving it away. All curl service that Derek is able to grab easily enough.
3 moments there for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Really well done coming out of the midfield. Bradley Sample in the first one, Danny Griffin on the second. Talked about it in the keys, Mike. That middle has to meddle. They got to jump up, be aggressive, and force pressure, not allowing Tulsa to play quickly and directly out. Well done by the visitors.
Sousa. Once you apply the patch, I imagine not a single player on this field is ever going to give their jersey away. That's the kind of thing you hang on your wall forever, right? Started off and wait an entire career for this moment. So many go a long career and never get this moment. Referee wants to ensure that no old schoolers are settled here by Delu or Biasi.
Always going to be a foul, little undercut. Also understanding that risk reward is balanced there. If you don't get it right, there's no pressure in behind, there's no space to work through. You win the challenge, you're off and running. Don't mind the look at all.
Weber. Got an arm. Mertz pleads his case. Mertz and his wife Kate welcomed a baby boy back on June 5th. Callahan, goal and assist 2 days later against Detroit. That was his 150th appearance for his hometown team. Lasso a title now. Pull a star out of the sky to put on that jersey. Send over that far touchline. Weber. Batista. Second team all-league. It is for Batista. His 11th team in 9 years as a professional. He grew up in Oklahoma City. Just down the road here from Tulsa. Turned over on the square ball. Medkar. USL Championship game. Coverage begins tonight, 7:30 Eastern. It's on CBS, streaming live on Paramount+. Two trophies going up today on CBS, and big college football game, USC and Oregon following us here. They sold this joint out, and if you go a couple hours down the road, Oklahoma's playing a home game today. College football.
It's really unfortunate the fans aren't carrying any confidence or maybe some early morning lubrication to be a bit more boisterous.
They had a good early brunch.
They've been going by 6 a.m., man. They were loud, proud from the get-go.
Slip ball ahead from Delu. Medkar. Stomper forward off the right side. Bobby Mertz said that it was actually Arsenal documentary that made him understand that eating pancakes or waffles, regardless of game time, is best. So he was uniquely suited for this moment. He usually has them at 4 in the afternoon. I'd imagine that means he had them probably a bit closer to 8 a.m., which, to be fair, is far more standard.
I'm gonna have to talk to Robbie about that one. His choice in whom he supports overseas. If he changes his breakfast, he changes his teams, and he wouldn't be worrying about the Invincibles of your early 2000s. Instead, follow Liverpool. We skip breakfast, straight to dessert.
Turns out he turned down breakfast this morning, we've just been told. That's crack reporting from Marion Crowder. Whether or not that pays dividends, we're going to find out. There is the aforementioned Mertz. Aside from Griffin, Suber actually recruited in some ways to Pittsburgh by Danny Griffin what have become legendary December combines that have made up the core of this Riverhounds team over the course of the last 7 years.
Interesting dynamic approaching the 10-minute mark of the second half. Vincent, acting head coach for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, talked about wanting Charles Ault to be more active. I take it a step further and go back to the success that they've seen together is they wander in tandem, not isolated on each side. And with the change that was Mertz to the left and, or excuse me, Mertz to the right and Ault to the left in the first half, they've gone back to more predictable positions, but Ault is now following him. Attacking-wise, that gives Pittsburgh more stability to work off of each other. Just have to be careful defensively. Mike Tulsa's so good at funneling out of the weak side, which is going to leave more personnel available.
In a perfect world, then, who do we see get forward for Tulsa out of those moments? Who do you want to see on the ball?
It's not even the fact that you have a player to get forward. It's the fact that you have someone like a Lamar Bautista, where there's not immediate pressure from a Hounds player, and instead he can take a touch and look for that first vertical ball. He doesn't need to make a 40-yard run. He wants to take one touch and hit a 40-yard ball, put pressure on this Pittsburgh back line.
Let's go down to the sideline. Marion, you can add.
That's exactly what Luke Spencer is telling Lamar Bautista as you were making that comment, Devin, saying, hey, we don't need you so far deep. Why not be involved, insert yourself a bit more centrally, be willing to break those lines on the dribble?
Happy to announce that although Luke and I are in sync, there was no invitation extended for the coaching staff next season.
Devin, not in sync. It's Yellow Card that was playing here.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Ah, the timing is perfect. It's the first yellow card of this game. It's not so perfect for Duluth, but
this isn't just about this one foul, though. 5 minutes ago, same foul, same player, elbow up against and underneath. It's dangerous more so in this situation because of how hard he's going to come back there. You can cause some real damage. If Duluth kept coming a little bit further, Biasi could have been in trouble.
Only one yellow card in this game thus far. It's been plenty chippy. FC Tulsa not living up to the expectation they set in the conference semis, where they had 58 fouls in the 120 minutes against Phoenix Rising, a new league record. Sousa creates, pulls it back. Williams trying to expand that back line further. Hopping through the midfield, Mertz. Turned over here. Elmedkar. Elmedkar cross. Flicked up over the bar.
It's a mistake. It's a mistake, but it's good defending here from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, the way that he steps back through. Weak side support eliminates the ability for them to keep going forward. Instead, it's 2v1 disadvantage. Good job of still getting the ball back across, but smart by the Hounds to retreat.
Weber. He said, well, I moved from Cape Town to Johannesburg early as a professional, so going to Tulsa wasn't all that hard. Living his dream playing abroad, the ball across, snared by Dick. Weber's really impressed you since coming in.
More active in his role. You know, the idea that he doesn't have to be a guy that's working from outside in, that he can play at the deep lying 6 for FC Tulsa, but also one of those initial pressing components coming up high alongside Taylor Calheta. Tactically, they've adjusted in a couple of different formations over the course of the season, most of which due to injury and not having the depth that Luke Spencer wants to regularly play in this 3-back system.
Flashing forward, Coley. Support wide, Sousa. ton of English on that. That stayed in. And a foul as a result. We've reached the hour mark. The way this playoff run has gone, drama's really only just begun. We might only be halfway there. Free kick here for Tulsa. First ball away, Sousa. Second chance at it. Coley hits this back post. Strong take. We're about to enter the 62nd minute. That's the minute in which Luke Spencer scored the championship winning goal in the 2018 final. Louisville over Phoenix. Now the FC Tulsa head coach.
The first half, I said it was going to be quality over quantity in terms of chances within this game. We're also entering 1,119 minutes of play combined between the two teams, going back to the last time either one conceded.
Wow.
They're so impenetrable. They don't give you that much in the run of play.
Ian took it off the chin from Hall. Well, it only takes one. Luke Spencer can tell you that. Yeah, and he sort of had a grin about that 2018 championship winning goal, not the least of which Didier Drogba is the one who was most shocked by it. Named the MVP. Paolo Del Piccolo, the captain of that side, lifting the trophy. It was back-to-back championship wins for Louisville City at the time.
If he's able to pull off the dramatic, get a result here today, would become the second person ever in USL Championship history to win the USL Championship title, Mike, as both a player and a coach. The other,
oh, don't put me on the spot like that.
His former leader, James O'Connor, won the title in 11 and 13, and then was a part of the 17 winning title team.
Started 18 with the side. Luke Spencer was actually part of what they termed the Louisville City Triumvirate. So he, George Davis, and Paolo Del Piccolo were a trio of co-head coaches between the time that James O'Connor went to Orlando and before John Hackworth arrived to take over the team. But the only one who was unable to play because he was in a boot was Luke Spencer. So in the end, he's the one who took the wins and the losses. 7 games in charge, won 4 of them. And he didn't have to call his own number, but scored in the final anyways and secured the trophy. Free kick here for Pittsburgh. As Luke Spencer said, set pieces so often define these championship finals. Surely right now he desperately hopes it doesn't go against Tulsa in this instance. Mertz above the ball. Mertz offering. And a header for Sample. Found himself in decent situations getting forward on those sets a couple times now above, and he crash landed.
Does a really good job right side of your screen. Sample coming up. Timing's just a little bit off. The way that he's trying to angle this, he steps forward early, prohibits his ability to attack it, and instead has to adjust on the fly, come back across it. Pressure from Trevion Sousa, never going to allow him to create direct contact.
Stauffer muscled by all, but got his head to it. Medcar bombing a header forward. Here's Weber.
It's one of those moments right there, Mike. You know, the viewer at home is probably going, oh, Tulsa retained possession. That ball by Jamie Weber's got to be in. to Batista's feet quicker. It's 3 touches when one will do. It's 2 passes when one will do. Time elapses, and defensively, Pittsburgh sets their foundation. You play that first ball, you can be off and running, which is that aggression that Luke Spencer gave to Marion about 5 minutes ago. That's what he's looking for right now.
DeLu, well jabbed away. Ian backstopping. Weber outside. Batista. Caleb Patterson and Sewell about it. Batista finally the club that truly understands him. It's made all the difference. Show off your team pride in style. Official merch from shopusl.com. Check out brand new tees, hoodies, novelty items, and more. Your favorite USL team at shopusl.com by scanning the QR code now. We've got our scarves. If this game continues at 0-0, we may need them by the time we're done. It's about 50 degrees when we kicked off. I'm sure it's much better now. It's funny, yesterday, Pittsburgh actually arrived some flight delays late on Thursday. Really just wanted to acclimatize themselves a bit because it's been colder in Pittsburgh of late. Yesterday, sunny, 60s, all across, diving effort to try and get that out of harm's way. Was that touched? It was, because Griffin was smart enough to usher that out. Ultimately, Pittsburgh probably feels right at home in this temperature, maybe not this atmosphere. Pittsburgh, 14 playoff games without ever reaching a final, most in the league. 26 years in totality without reaching a final. Pursuit of that defining moment. This is off the training ground. Chipped ahead, too far for Beto Idrach. You know, Dev, I think one thing that stands out, the Steel Army made the trip here. I mean, we're talking 50 people on a Greyhound bus and numerous more on planes, trains, and automobiles. Certainly the Tulsa support has been unbelievable. These are 2 markets that, I mean, if you're Tulsa, it's been a long 10 years. A lot of ups, probably a few more downs, a couple of wooden spoons along the way. And they've got it right. And you go to Pittsburgh, and it was a sellout and a record every single week in the Open Cup runs. And it's amazing in a 5-year span with 10 different finalists that we get these 2 teams hitting high water marks at the same time.
The ability by the league to be able to capture less traveled markets, if you will. We're not talking about, that's going to be a card.
That's a yellow to Ian, only a yellow.
Hefty on the end of this one. Step through right in front of us. A lot of contact on the movement as Charles Jarl drops back in. Oh yeah. Stinger on the follow through. If Studs came high there, he could be in the showers. Very fortunate that his leg stays low to the ground. And it's only a yellow.
Couple yellows in 4 games, 3 starts. Brian, center back, primarily plied his trade in the Brazilian 2nd and 3rd divisions over the years. Came from ABCFC in October. Mertz, free kick. Ricochets around. Circulates to Stauffer and relieves the pressure. And substitutes are coming, and there are players that can make a massive impact. But most importantly, him. Stefan Lukic has come in 6 separate occasions this year as a substitute and scored the tying goal or the winning goal. He scored the winner in stoppage time against Colorado Springs, make it early extra time. Scored late in extra time, stoppage time, 120+2 against Phoenix in the conference semi. Then Owen Dom, who came up in Louisville as an academy player while Luke Spencer was still playing with that club. Came over last year, signed on a free transfer over the offseason following a loan stint, enters as well. Marion, what's the thought process on the changes?
Bring a mixture of composure and energy, something they feel like they need at this point in the game. And actually, Stefan Lukic said to Owen Dom before we go in, don't wait for me to play you to make the run. Make that run. I know that that's the space available to us, so look for them to try and switch the point over to Owen Dom early.
Within all of that, you're still looking for balance, right? You've gotten the aggression on the back line. They've started to fight back a little bit and start to give a little bit more freedom to the front, but that's exactly what you need here. You're throwing caution to the wind. Chance creation been at a premium. Space lacking. Dropping in. Playing with energy, playing with confidence to work off of each other. Gotten a little bit away from combination play. Gone way more direct than normal, and it has not benefited them. Now you go.
Lukic. A Serbian who never has to buy a drink at Tulsa again launches this over. Soars up into the air. Dick high points it. Tactically, does it make an enormous difference? We'll see. Anytime you get into a final, you'll hear coaches go, well, we've watched this much tape and we've seen this. But will we see it when all the chips are down? When you start making changes, some you planned, some maybe you didn't.
The hope is the bigger change that you would get out of this is Owen Dom can push a little bit higher, release the left side more, and more importantly, you get Lukic to work off of Calheta. Taylor Calheta within this game has really struggled because of the pressure on the back. Adding an extra line of personnel into it makes it more difficult for Pittsburgh to track the run. Simple numbers, Matt. You want to play 3v1? You want to play 3v2?
Chested ahead. Sousa goes back in. Dom returns. It's Batista, the return to Sousa. Sends the cross. Header steered across the face of goal. Crowd to their feet. Back toward the spot. Deflected. And now Dick will basket catch it. Racing off his line to end the threat.
Right on cue. Where's the threat come from, though? High line. Great job by Sousa getting in. And as he comes, releases early. Love the idea. If he pushes to the end line, the space goes away, and Pittsburgh can turn and face. Instead, the early ball, personnel coming back up through for FC Tulsa. The second, the third, the fourth look is what this team has predicated their success upon. One of the best builds we've seen all game long from the home team.
And wouldn't you know it, it was Lukic. 7 goals all year, 6 of them have been result-changing as a substitute. That's a yellow card. Belongs to Weber.
A lot of ground coverage in this game for Jamie Weber, and not necessarily in the fashion that he'd like. He's chasing a lot more, having to pop out of these spinner spots next to Coley. As the aggression comes, more space starts to open up, more coverage necessary defensively.
Down to a quarter hour or so. From Upper St. Clair High School, University of Michigan. Plays square, launched into the box. appeal for a handball, nothing to it. Into Lukic. Weber trailing. Recovers, steers forward. Comes outside, Stauffer. A lot of air under it. Nodded back in front. Knocked down and hit back. Launched. Out of play. It was deflected from Coley. It is a corner.
First it was Souza on the left. Good idea from Lucas Stauffer to get himself high here. Starting to shift the back line more frequently for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Understanding they want to play direct into the box. The cutbacks are available. The more they compress this back line, space is continuing to present itself just inside the 18.
Coley will do the honors. Coley serves. Dick leading out for it. It's up above and beyond.
It's the second time this afternoon we've seen from Eric Dick a bit of indecision as he pops up into the space here. Feels like he wants to come, stops as he holds himself in his tracks, prohibits the ability to come up high, and then as he does, doesn't even see it. He's so explosive as a goalkeeper. You got to pop through that space. All the congestion in front of you, take the weight of the world that is on your back from a pressure standpoint and throw it right at the bodies in front of you. Take command.
Maybe got clipped, did get clipped. It looked like a brilliant thievery. It was really just Biasi and hit on the ankle. Dev, you get later in these games, isn't there an element of like, I'm going to make the referee call that goal back? You get to 85, 75 minutes in a final. Yeah, I might push a little bit harder. Go ahead. Tell these 9,000 people that's not a goal.
My nausea continues to grow. The nerves come up high. Anxiety follows.
Ball ahead to Calhera. Successfully swatted away. Play on, Lukic trying to pull this in. Might be more dangerous if not for that whistle. They've allowed that to play on for Tulsa, alas.
It's a foul. And the peanut gallery not happy. There's contact right through. No doubt about it. Couldn't play advantage coming the other way for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Really good refereeing. And who knew? The Tulsa faithful were also fluent in French.
Today at 3:30, we have a big-time top 20 college football matchup featuring 15th-ranked USC taking on number 7 Oregon. It all begins with State Farm College Football Today. Next, here on CBS, streaming on Paramount+. Got a favorite in that game, Dev? Penn State is not playing.
You took the words out of my mouth.
I know. You're a Virginia Tech fan now, or does that not travel?
That's not a question.
Okay. Think Batista's a fan?
Well, they wanted a yellow card here. I don't blame him. Lamar Batista had an acreage of space in front of him. The opportunity to progress the attack coming forward. No movement on the ball whatsoever.
3 cards for Tulsa, none for Pittsburgh. 2 subs for Tulsa. And these are the first 2 for Pittsburgh. Jackson Walty. And Alal Osamanu. Biasi and Sample take leave. We're at 80 minutes. When do managers start to think 30 more minutes might behoove us?
No, not even a conversation right now. Things are tight. Tension right there. Chances have been there for both teams. No one's interested about thinking about the next level right now. 10 minutes to go and find yourself a winner. And as tight as this game has been, someone hits the back of the net right now. That'll be it.
Could this be it for Pittsburgh? Ball pulled back, Lukic away. More on the subs. Let's go downstairs to Marion.
Luke Biasi just having a bit of a knock right now, not playing at his best, and so that was the reason behind the change for him. But then Jackson Walty, he's come into the game because they feel like winning second balls is going to be the key to trying to get something late.
Thank you, Marion. Only 1 game missed by Biasi all year. It was a red card suspension. So him off the field, a bit of a rarity.
I've got my eye on that back line, not because Biasi has come off, but with the addition of Osamanu, it's actually 2 changes within the 3, because Beto Idrach is going to come over to the left side, and as he moves, now you're back into the one-on-one situations we talked about with Taylor Caldera and how you work Lukic into the mix. That's about communication. Have to be very careful here. The tendency, Mike, is going to be to over-pivot. You have to trust the numbers that you have defensively. Pittsburgh very good all game long. Subs got to be able to communicate that to each other.
Walty offered a goal and an assist, by the way, off the bench against Monterey Bay in the final regular season games. It'd be a dream scenario for the former Pitt walk-on, born in Switzerland but raised in St. Petersburg, Florida. Getting plenty involved. That should and is a free kick. Won by Stauffer. Seemed like every captain was going down. Luke Spencer's not superstitious, but there was some sage burned in the film room at one point, trying to select a new captain and make sure that he stayed whole. Stauffer ended up being the man. All the while, he won the free kick, but Coley's going to take it. Coley offers. Bautista for Calhara. From Sousa. Weber trying to intervene, did win the ball. Coley pops out to Stauffer. Marauding forward. Top of the 18, spun back. Weber dancing, firing. Did the run out behind.
That is
brilliant. Batista, right place, right time. He vacated space that Williams was trying to extricate. Service across the face. Lukic went. And the studs let down.
Unreal touch by Danny Griffin, overshadowed by what is going to be a brilliant read. by Lamar Batista on this back line. Much better in the second half here of his relationship with Souza and releasing it, adding layers to the attack now, better balance out on the width overall. Stauffer a part of that too on the right.
The numbers are decent here for Pittsburgh. Pushing forward, 5 minutes to go. Down into the corner, long run. Mertz got there, slid away, and Ian getting the crowd jazzed. Too many balls. Otherwise, Etu would put that in play as quickly as he could.
This front line's gassed right now for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. If they're able to get something out of this, it feels like it's going to be on the counter the way the field has started to favor FC Tulsa. They just don't have the legs right now. That's got to be a change coming from Rob Vincent.
Mertz dancing, turned away by Stauffer. Edrach hangs service up toward Griffin. Lukic. Edrach. Referee deems that was of Lukic's own volition. Souza. Here's Delance-Pierre. Stauffer. Pierre. That title-winning team under James Chambers, direction of Stevie Hogan, the front office last year in Colorado Springs. Did an amazing job at that Switchbacks club in recent years. Stauffer. Ian. Derek. 2017, the latest regulation game-winning, championship-clinching goal. Cameron Lancaster did it for Louisville City. We're approaching that time. Mertz, ground down by Jamie Weber. All outside, the give and go got broken up physically. Dom. Substitution coming for Pittsburgh in the waning minutes. Minute in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the USL Championship final. Two teams looking for their first championship win. 11 years for Tulsa, 26 for Pittsburgh. And a wayward cross. Substitution at that stoppage. Chase Boone came on. Charles All came off. Let's go to Marion with more on that change.
Well, remember, we were told, guys, that there were a couple of Pittsburgh Riverhound players that were actually carrying some knocks. Charles All, one of those players, just doesn't feel like that he has the legs to be able to take this one all the way.
They were talking about 60, 75 minutes, gave nearly 90, and in comes Boone, who in 2022 in Monterey Bay managed 8 goals in 24 games. He has 2 in his last 40 since. Dealing with injuries that have really hampered him. Who knows, maybe today's the day.
Got to get some more pressure on that far side, understanding that Aaron Barnes has done very well for himself out on an island right now. A lot of one-on-ones against Souza. That leaves Lamar Batista pressing up against him, not allowing that ball to recycle to the far side and committing himself coming forward. That's a foul. But even little moments like that, understanding not much time left. If you're Rob Vincent, get the ball face forward, let's go. Turns his body really well to at least get himself into a spot to lure the opposition out. Doesn't have the combo play, but still draws the contact.
And worth noting, Rob Vincent said the last 6 games we haven't spent a ton of time on defense and training because our structure is good. It's doubly important right now. You're going to get a free kick. If you launch this and you allow Tulsa to counter you, they can be epic in those moments. Structure to avoid being countered on is critical. Mertz steered down and, well, that was just me being alarmist, I guess. Into stoppage time, another 2.5 minutes separate us from an additional 30. They never wanted to set the bar too low, Tulsa. Make the playoffs. Outside, that was probably a decent expectation. First in the West. 3, now 4 home games at home, having never hosted a playoff game. Who would have thunk? That locker room did. These fans began to believe. One player told us in the lead up to this game, it was around the time that they ran away from New Mexico for the 1 seed, that they thought, hey, we can really do something special here. Nothing more special than that star. Both sides said it's the one thing you can never take away. Luke Spencer said every game next year, the winner of this game is going to be referred to as the defending champ. Derek calls everybody off. Rob Vincent said so much pressure in those home games because they don't want to let the fans down. Said he went through social media after winning the Eastern Conference Finals, said, some of these people have been waiting 26 years for this moment. In a city that's won so many championships. The Riverhounds hope they're next. An 8-year drought doesn't seem like all that long to most, but in Pittsburgh it's an eternity. Lukic wasn't able to steer that onto his foot. Dom intervenes again. Didn't you always know this was coming, Devin?
I still got to get out of this stadium. There's no chance I'm admitting that. Pittsburgh supporters below us, Tulsa on the left. They're going to have a hard time finding the car.
That runs askew. And for the 4th time in 14 championship finals, we are going to extra time. Orlando, Rochester, Phoenix have all lifted trophies from this scenario. One of these two will get there first in just over 30 minutes' time. Another clean sheet. Both sides unblemished in this playoff run. Will it come down to Derek or Dick? Time will tell. The fans, they waited. Is a winner still to come. Extra time next. The flags are still waving. The flags are high, the trophy's not. Tulsa, Pittsburgh, 90 minutes gone. We don't have a winner yet. Clean sheets galore. Tulsa at home, nearly 700 minutes without allowing a goal. Pittsburgh in totality, over 600 minutes. We're talking about months. And now 30 minutes remain. We'll look at highlights.
First half was all about the Riverhounds, how they controlled the overall run of play. As they knocked this ball in, they don't have a ton of numbers in the box. Luke Biassi's trying to pick out a back post runner, instead gets a little bit lucky. Derek off his line, but saved by the woodwork. Love the work right here by Robbie Mertz on the right side of your screen. Why? Because he draws one defender with him, creates the 2v1, opens up more space for Augustine Williams. Another good save by Tyler Derrick. The reason this game started to change was just before halftime. The team became more aggressive. They got better balance at the outside of the width for FC Tulsa, but as they went, they continued to give more space. Decision-making and the odometer on legs for Pittsburgh Riverhounds are why they didn't get better opportunities. Dick, coming back up high, did not do a very good job. He had two moments in this game that could have cost them dearly based upon his indecision. Very fortunate that they were able to get out of that unscathed.
As David Bowie would say, changes. A.B. Sissoko and Harvey St. Clair have come in for Tulsa at the commencement of extra time. Both teams granted now an additional substitution window and a sixth sub. Stauffer, who captained the side this morning, now this afternoon here in Tulsa, and Alex DeLue came off. He's got a moment in him, Rob Vincent said about Augie Williams. Second most goals, 85 in regular season history. One in the final, be the kind of thing that trumps all of those regular season accolades. Into the first of two periods of 15 minutes each in extra time.
Stay there, stay there. Arms down.
Rob Vincent looks on. He described the nerves that come before a home game in the playoffs. One can only imagine what they're like now. Two extra time winners in this playoff run for Lukic. He gets dumped. A foul from Williams. Let's go down to Marion, who's listening in on both huddles during the break.
Two completely different approaches from both sidelines for FC Tulsa, much more tactical. They want to step the wing-backs. You see Owen Don move over to the left wing-back position, the insertion of Harvey St. Clair at the right wing-back position, and then they want to win the second balls, hence the insertion of Sissoko centrally. After that, they want to follow the press to try to get into the final third. On the flip side for Pittsburgh Riverhounds, it was much more of a mentality approach, saying we will get our moment. You guys just have to be ready for it.
Well, the biggest change here for me is just going to be one player that affects every single level of this game. It's A.B. Sissoko onto the back line. Dan's Pilaire. Delence-Pierre will release up into the midfield. That gives more freedom for guys like Coley and J.B. Weber, and especially as Lukic comes in, puts a lot of pressure on the midfield of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. That's going to be on the front line, dropping in to help out defensively, but also the back line quickly pushing up, moving the confrontational line the other direction. Take pressure off this back three for the Hounds.
25-year-old Frenchman, the loudest voice on the field, we were told in the lead-up to this game. Brian Schmetzer said, first I didn't really notice him at Tacoma. Then I saw him in preseason against Will Bruin. Thought, oh, okay, he's up for this challenge. Here comes Tulsa into the final third. Lukic returns outside. Lobbed across. Falls on the backside. Calhero is waiting. He's been laying in wait all day. A push, a foul from A.B. Sissoko. Was a starter the vast majority of the season, but due to injury, has been coming off the bench here at the end. Sissoko handed the captain's armband with Lucas Stauffer coming off.
Fortunate, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, that Taylor Calladata didn't get as clean as a touch as he would have liked. A ton of space that was available, and then well done by Augie Williams to step up high.
Boone back. Boone came on as a sub. Deflected by St. Clair. Instead of Coley. Pierre just enough to tick that box and get it forward to Calhera. Dom, good move. And chugs through midfield. Dom went down. That comes with a yellow card, the first issued to a Riverhound. And the crowd loves that.
Well done by Owen Dom here, just to drive right through the heart of it. First touch wasn't his best, but the cutback across starts to draw the defender in. Keep in mind, as he continues that run like a heartbeat, the back line starts to get tighter. The wingback starts to pull in closer. As aggressive as the width of the field has become for Tulsa, that benefits them.
Griffin picks up the card, 5th year in Pittsburgh, out of Providence. Ball into the box, leaks to the backside. Angling for space, comes high to Weber with a deflection, goes caroming out of play. Weber, 3 goals, 3 assists, and unafraid to pull the trigger. Lukic called these crowds a dream come true. Luke Spencer said this is becoming a soccer city. If this ball hits the net, you're going to feel it more than you'll hear it. Only 3 goals scored in extra time in championship final history. Weber angles the cross, got beneath Lukic and sent away. Lukic scored on this end at 120+2 and then ran the length of the field to the supporters. Probably the fastest 100 yards he's run all season. Everyone talks about the nerves at the beginning, the finals. I don't know that people talk about the nerves at the end. You get to a scoreless game like this, where it's just been a razor's edge away. One save, one bad touch, one turn out of pressure. Vindicates 34 games. Or ends your season. St. Clair offers, header into the air. Lukic came for it. Dick rising to the occasion. Off his line, back into the box. Dick has it again. Big from Dick. Early in stoppage, make it extra time.
Width again for FC Tulsa is the conversation. Harvey St. Clair, great job. Backside of your screen, pushing up high. The touch right across the body, perfect. It's allowing him to forward face, quickly make a decision to get into the box, as Eric Dick does, coming up high. There is the one who has been the savior down the stretch for FC Tulsa. Lukic in, but Eric Dick, unreal save in the moment again. Saw one in the first half, backs it up, and then a third to come up, be brave in that box. Just asked for that prior to the start of extra time. Great command by the goalkeeper.
A double save from Eric Dick and Luke Spencer from the Tulsa sideline. So close, so far.
Give him credit too, Eric Dick. That's a real testament to the quality of goalkeeper who started to have some shaky moments right around the midway point. To recover, Mike, is one thing. To start to thrive on the road in a final after the mistakes, excellent by Eric Dick from Pittsburgh.
This the only final in 14 in which we went to extra time scoreless. Rochester won it in the 113th minute in 2015. 2011, it's Harrisburg City first, then Orlando at 116. Orlando City won it in PKs, and then in 2023, Phoenix, Charleston. What a dramatic final that was that went to penalties. Charleston was on the precipice of a title, only to have it ripped away by Phoenix Rising. Long-awaited trophy for a club that had accomplished so much, but not that. Two clubs in totally uncharted territory. Their first conference championship wins, their first finals. USL Championship. Ian drives that big diagonal off the set piece, and Pittsburgh was wise to it. Williams coming back to the ball, navigates into the center circle. Look at Sissoko, arms wide, orchestrating the entire team. 4 shots on target for Tulsa in this game. Only 1 for Pittsburgh. Now the next one could be the one. Into the penalty area toward Calhera. And balled around.
Beautiful ball.
What can Mertz do with it? Spots at 2, offers the service, got by Boone. Still alive for Walty on the backside. Walty leading corner 1 by the Hounds and Perrin Barnes. Begins. 3 imposing forces aligned atop the 6-yard box. Sissoko, Ian, and Batista. No one else marked up. It's Mertz swinging away. Cut down by Derek.
Some unfamiliar territory here for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. The biggest change under Rob Vincent. More of an offensive identity, commitment to numbers forward, control within the midfield and on the width. They're struggling with the secondary balls right now to allow them to get on the ball more frequently and take pressure off this back line, so much so that it's the first time under Rob Vincent that they've lost total chance creation at this point in time in the game. 2.32 to 0.5 in total XG. They had won the previous 6 games in that conversation. Midfield's got to work harder. Front line has got to push themselves, start to dig deeper, get more pressure as they start to move forward. They're not committing enough numbers up high.
Tulsa, they put the advanced statistics, their KPIs, key performance indicators, on the wall in the locker room at the training facility. XG and XGA are just a couple of, what's a handful of key numbers that they track, but they make it abundantly clear to everybody. Analytically, Tulsa, the deserving champion. Eventually, pen and paper doesn't matter anymore. St. Clair offering, diving attempt at a header, skews into the air. Dick up to snag it.
There's contact, no doubt about that, on the back shoulder of Lukic. Not sure if he made a meal of it or not.
And no VAR, of course, in the championship to have another look.
Sean Suber. Yeah, no pen. Even if you had another look, no pen. Great job by the refereeing crew. There's pressure. And that's about it.
What's impressed you most about Suber this year?
Sean Suber's just, he's stoic.
Yeah.
His emotions don't waver throughout a match. Such a young age for a young man in his professional career to have control. The changes that have occurred under active head coach Rob Vincent to really release more numbers up high. It's a lot more responsibility defensively. He's got full command of it.
One of 2 Ironmen in the league among field players. Danny Vitiello, goalkeeper in Sacramento. Asgartig and Suber. Ball whipped through. Clearance as far as Coley. A run out. It's worth noting when we asked Suber, he said Ironman. First team All-League, finalist for Defender of the Year. What's your greatest accomplishment this year? He said the Eastern Conference Championship. Final seconds of the first 15 minutes. No kidding, the final seconds. We've got 15 minutes more, and if we don't find a goal by then, we'll go to the spot. Championship final continues next on CBS. Augustine Williams is done. One of the great goal scorers in league history. Can't leave his mark on this final. Bertan Jakobsen has come in off the bench for Pittsburgh, their 4th sub. You begin in February, preseason training camp, and you hope in March that you'll have a great season, that you'll make it to November. Now look at the full-time, extra time highlights. Eric Dick, time and time again, to the rescue, including a double save on Lukic. in extra time, denying the Tulsa talisman. And it looks like he's just having a good time now. "15 minutes remain. Find a champion or do it from the spot." Mike Watts, Devin Kerr, Marion Crowder, and our USL on CBS team concluding what's been a remarkable season in the championship. Setting course for Division I in 2028 for promotion relegation coming to American soccer, and a championship season in which the two teams everyone thought would be there at the end, at least in the East, Louisville and Charleston, both going down early in the playoffs, two first-time finalists. Tulsa trying to swing a cross in, bounces kindly to Lukic. Service into the box. Calhera tried to bring it down. Pierre got a piece. He's chasing. Pierre ripped it away. Angles back. Options galore. The service up. Lukic goes all the way through to Weber. Handball. Let's go down to Marion Crowder, who was listening into both huddles during the stoppage.
Well, guys, as you can imagine, both head coaches preaching on the mentality that it's going to take in this moment. Now, Pittsburgh did make a change, Mike, as you alluded to. Bertan Jakobsen, he's going to give him some fresh legs. They feel like he can change the dynamic of this game. But at the end of it, both coaches echoing the same thing, saying, keep going. We're already here. Don't waste this moment. And sometimes this is all it comes down to.
My interest on Bertan Jakobsen isn't just the fresh legs, though. It's more so how they apply him. At his best, Bertan Jakobsen, he attacks outside in. Let him drift away from that prototypical 9 up top on the center back. Instead, drift out. You change their shape, but it also plays into what are his biggest assets. Running, ball at his feet, and running at a back line directly, not trying to make the run by himself.
Derek away. And you saw a lot of Bertan Jakobsen at Pitt, including a couple
collegiate
runs
and pro level.
College Cup.
He's an interesting player that he gets streaky. The biggest thing for him is he wants someone to work off of. Also, the reason, Mike, that you don't want to isolate him up there. He's really good at playing the angles. He's got speed, good vision, but he wants to be able to play in tandem.
Yep, got an arm. Quick restart. Weber circulates. He says never been this close to winning a league championship. Won a cup in South Africa, but said it was nothing like this. The buildup, the anticipation. He and every player on FC Tulsa seem to be getting haircuts on Thursday too. Look good, feel good, play good. Griffin leading Mertz, charging through midfield. Barnes lets it through. Boone.
Good defending. It's not the outlet ball that you want at 109 minutes, but that's even more so how impressive it is from Jamie Weber. Ground coverage, getting outside of that pocket, chasing down into the channel. Excellent defending.
Picked off by Jakobsen. Slicing into Lukic. Walty, Griffin. Sliced ahead by Edrach. Back heel on from Jakobsen. Mertz. Will wind around Ian. Into Jackson Walty. Walty hits the service back post. Derek. Enough.
That's good pressure by Owen Dom. Communication struggles in the moment. Well done by Derek to continue his run back through. It's dangerous. Is the goalkeeper coming? Owen Dom wants to let him come and get it, but then at the tail end recognizes he hasn't committed to that process.
Weber to wheel away with possession. Maybe he was always destined for penalties. Over 700 minutes without conceding at home this playoff run and end of the regular season. The top seed in the West, Tulsa. Over 600 minutes without allowing a goal. 6 unbeaten for Pittsburgh. The 4 seed in the East. Into the box, stick up over Calhara. Finality to the playoffs. End of Rodrigo Lopez's career, Niall McCabe's career, some of the legends in the championship stepping away at the end of this campaign. There's no player on the field that fits that bill, perhaps, in this game. Spencer went on another few years, played in the championship. Bob Vincent finished in 2015 in Pittsburgh. Worth noting, Canardo Forbes, who retired as the all-time leader in appearances, became an assistant coach a month into the season for Pittsburgh. Trevor Ammon in, and Jamie Weber off. More on that sub with Marion.
This is the most straightforward report I'll give you guys all game. He said Trevor scores goals.
That's fair.
You know, I think with Trevor Ammon, the best thing he can do is stop thinking about it. If all he has to do is give the best 8 minutes of his life, I think he's up for that challenge.
The best that we've seen Tulsa all game long, and what Luke Spencer has constantly been trying to do is to get them to commit more numbers going forward. Forget the location on the field for a second. In advanced positions, you give the ability for Taylor Calhara to start to wander. Okay, right now that's where they're at. To get the best out of your talisman striker, you got to take pressure off of him. Trevor Ammon does that. He'll play higher, they can work shoulder to shoulder, and it squeezes the back line, allowing them to have more control higher up on the pitch.
Throw for Ammon. 23 goals, League One Golden Boot winner, Player of the Year in 2023. We'll cede the throw to Owen Dom. 2023, he was just getting in to Louisville for the first time, an Academy product from Kentucky. He skewed college to go pro, landed with his former teammate in Tulsa. Dom into the box. Osamanu, himself a former League One champion in Omaha.
You get the relationship right up front. For Tulsa, you get a winner. Same conversation for Pittsburgh. Jacqueson understands the positioning of his teammates, works off a Boone, starts to veer towards Robbie Mertz. That's where the special moment comes from either.
Jacqueson trying to slice back, you get no further. Bodies on the ground, Lukic comes away with it. Tulsa steamrolling into the final third. Calhara offers the service. What? Oh, well, flag just got waved off. I looked to the side going, what are we doing here? Yeah, came from an offside position, Calhera. Yeah, Luke, I get it. I'm with you. Or, I guess it went I'm a little baffled here. The halfway line, they've... given the free kick to Tulsa. A bit confused. It's the AR on the near touchline who threw his flag out for it. Initially got shouted down by the ref, and then now it appears we've come to the right side of this. Looks like he spotted a shove behind the play. Coley. Not over Ian. Jostling to draw a whistle. Devin, I'd be remiss not to mention, we're getting to that point where you start thinking about penalties. Eric Dick on one side has been a part of so many of these moments in this postseason, but in general in his career. And then on the other side, there is a sub remaining for Tulsa. Johan Peñaranda did lead the league in penalty saves last year with 3, but Tyler Derrick, no spring chicken, but pretty good penalty goalkeeper himself. You never know.
Given the way that Tyler Derrick has taken control of this team defensively, no chance Luke Spencer's thinking about that right now.
Shuffled ahead, Coley. Nearly got all the way through toward Ammon. Back forward toward the box, Osamanu. Chipped outside to Owen Dom. Trying to navigate. Dom hangs the cross, header down right at Dick. St. Clair. Dick in the right place at the right time. That's the second header he's turned away in extra time.
It's a good job by Eric Dick sliding back over here. I love what I've seen out of the substitutes, though. Owen Dom, Harvey St. Clair really made an impact in this game. The balance overall, constant threats up high. They're the only two that are constantly getting the ball into the box for their strikers.
Goal now would be the latest in the history of the championship final. Ian in pain now.
The argument on the sideline from Rob Vincent and the Hounds, doesn't play the ball. Ian actually does a really good job of standing his ground, manipulating Robbie Mertz to go the direction that he wants, takes the momentum on his runaway. No foul on the end of it, though.
St. Clair. Give and go, brilliant. St. Clair. That's a throw, not a corner. St. Clair, 13 years in the Chelsea Academy, went to Venezia, sent out on loan 4 separate occasions, arrived in Tulsa. Into the box toward Pierre, knocked down by Batista. Curve to the back post, falls, in! Is that the last good chance in open play?
You got what you wanted. Ian's really patient on the back post run, keeps himself in an onside position. The way that he sets his body up, he does everything right, but he's tired, and he starts to lean back at the tail end of it. Holds the game in front of him. He's got to trust himself, lean over that ball instead as he starts to get cute and put a little bit of English on it. Notice his body leaning back away. Always going to be up over the top.
2 balls. Where Dick swats that away. Limited amount of stoppage time. It's almost done. Penalties would follow. The two most offensively stout teams. If defense does in fact win championships, one of these teams will be the perfect example, and the other will be simply shocked that they didn't allow a single goal and could still possibly lose it. Header into the box toward Ammon. Final minute.
Oh, how's your touch, Robbie Mertz?
It's that touch, gift one more chance to Pittsburgh in the dying seconds. Forward into the box, header launched. Walty into the air, Derek calls everybody off. He firmly grasps it, sends it as long as he can. The goal now would be golden. Lukic trying to pull it away. That's it. We've gone 120. The defenses stand tall. And now it comes down to Dick and Derek. Penalties in Tulsa. 623 minutes without allowing a goal. Make it 723 for Tulsa at home. And the Riverhounds, 632 minutes without conceding in totality. Pittsburgh headed to penalties for the third time in this postseason. Tulsa for the first. A championship coming up next. Nine long, arduous, grueling months to be a 1 seed, to host 4 playoff games, to go 120 minutes, and then play roulette with penalties. Pittsburgh, one of the best defenses in league history over the last half decade. Saves galore, it's going to take one or two more.
They've been excellent, both goalkeepers. There's been set piece opportunities where they've had to adjust on the fly, close in proximity, open run of play services that has really challenged their positioning, and yet Tyler Derrick and Eric Dick, Tulsa and the Riverhounds, perfection attained.
Marion, what was the conversation ahead of spot kicks in the huddles?
For the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, it was pretty simple. Composure in this moment, guys, and remember that we love you, and it's been quite a journey. And then for Tulsa, they said that we're built for this, and they broke with one word together, family.
That's Marion Crowder, Devin Kerr alongside Mike Watts. USL Championship final has gone to penalties 3 times. We rode the epic roller coaster that was Charleston and Phoenix 2 years ago, where it seemed it was all but one for Phoenix to come from behind 2-0 down and steal it in penalties and secure the trophy. Are you a pressure is on the kicker or pressure is on the keeper?
Always feel that the moment doesn't favor the goalkeeper. Understand that people are going to view that differently because the percentages are up against them, so they've got nothing to lose. But I always walked up to the spot thinking, I control the destiny. If anything's going to happen, it's going to be on my terms because I will dictate the outcome of this. You still have to stop me.
Jockeson, Mertz, Suber took penalties in both shootouts. Augie Williams did as well, but he's out. Beto Edrach took a penalty against Detroit, didn't have to against Hartford. They went 8 for 9 in spot kicks in the playoffs. It starts with Berton Jockeson. 19 goals as a Pitt Panther, twice to College Cup. Acquired September last year, has been outstanding. He goes against Tyler Derrick, who's brought in off the couch at the end of September. It's an emergency goalkeeping signing for Tulsa. We set the tone for the shootout right here. Jockeson scores. 3 for 3 in the postseason. And Pittsburgh scores the first in this 5-round shootout.
Tyler Derrick was on the sniff here, though. Had the scent the whole way.
How good was Taylor Calhara this year? Eric Dick looks on. He's evaded shootout defeat twice in the postseason already. Calhara scores! 17 total goals, maybe none sweeter than that. 1-1.
Clean, just watches the goalkeeper. Look at the head up. Little peek. Sees Eric Dick start to lean, more than happy to take the space he's been given.
Clemente, Bradshaw, Roethlisberger, Crosby, Yager, Lemieux. Mertz, maybe. Another Pittsburgh kid. Mertz would not be denied. Can he bring a title to his beloved hometown? 2-1. He's done his job.
Prototypical pen here for the man that is the son of the Steel City. Clean right through it. Derrick on it once again. A lot of pace behind it, though, for Robbie Mertz.
He scored in the 92nd in the first round, 120 plus 2 in the second. Both winners. To equalize in the shootout, Stefan Lukic. Lukic denied! It's Dick with the save! And Pittsburgh leads through 2 rounds.
Not a great penalty here. Still work to be done by Eric Dick. But Lukic, he doesn't hit it with a lot of pace, goes with the instep nearly right at the goalkeeper, coming through the middle.
He had hardly put a foot wrong all year. It's Chase Boone for Pittsburgh. Boone off the underside of the bar and in. Derrick has guessed right 3 times. He's gotten to none of them. And Boone just rode some kind of wave of emotion.
You sit in your backyard as a young kid thinking about moments like this, the nerve to be able to do it, to follow the dream that once was that high with that power with the kiss off the bar. One of the most difficult tasks from 12 yards out, completed by Boone.
Giordano Coley, trialed in Scotland. The coach was fired, so free agent once again. Landed in Tulsa in February. Massive kick for Coley. Pittsburgh can put Tulsa on the brink.
Good recovery here by Coley. Watch his body open the entire way, and then right at the end, plant foot comes up, allowing his hips to come back across. Full momentum into that strike in the bottom corner.
Sean Suber, Defender of the Year finalist. All the work he said he put in over the offseason. Iron Man, he said none of that mattered. Raising the Eastern Conference Championship trophy did. This one is a lot bigger. Suber to consolidate for Pittsburgh in the shootout. Suber scores! Derek has been right 4 times and gotten to none of them. And it's all down to this.
The lower body strength that Sean Suber has here, as slow it is, you got to push through this. All of his might, right through it on the end step. Give Tyler Derek credit. He's been there every step of the way. But that's how good these penalties have been.
In life, precious few occasions where you have what you always wanted or the reason why you don't. Lamar Batista to keep the shootout alive. Batista scores. At least one more kick. Derek's been right 4 times. Make a save or Pittsburgh is champ. Batista sent him the wrong way. No look, no mistake. Beto Idrach. Could he go 60 minutes today? He went 120. Big East Defender of the Year at Akron. American Conference title at UCF. The rookie Idrach to end it and secure a title for Pittsburgh. Idrach scores! 26 years! Pittsburgh Riverhounds 2025 USL Championship winners! Idrach, the winning spot kick. And Pittsburgh is a city of champions once again. 120 minutes without a goal. And Idrach ends it. Right down the middle. "772 games, they had never been to a final. And Idrach and Pittsburgh go on to win it.
Give them credit. Pittsburgh Riverhounds talks throughout certain points in time this season. Would they be even able to get into postseason play? Defensively stout. Where would the goals come from? What would the identity be come the knockout rounds? Active head coach Rob Vincent gave them a vision. Robbie Mertz gave them guidance. But we said coming in, this was about a team who has given Pittsburgh the title.
Coming up next, State Farm College football today. For Devin Kerr, Marion Crowder, our entire crew, Mike Watts, saying so long from Tulsa. Congrats to Pittsburgh, 2025 championship final champions.